Much indeed. We've been pitchside at the Etihad all day. We've sampled the atmosphere and we've seen that incredible game that you've seen the highlights of as well. We started the day talking about who was going to get closer to this. There was 1 point between them, and there still is, with one game still left as opposed to 7 to play now instead of 8. Michael Owen, Micah Richards and Nigel Jong have enjoyed it as well all day here in Manchester. Another terrific advert, first of all, Michael, for the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen many halves like that first one. You know, the pace of it, the quality. I think they might have got a little bit tired, might have actually settled for a point apiece in the last 20 minutes or so of the second half, but it was still a high quality. On the whole, it was a phenomenal game. Two of the best teams we've ever seen, but that first half will live long in the memory.
The pace and the intensity of it as well, Micah.
It was just incredible. It really was. I was thinking, first 10 minutes, Man City just came out. Like, as fast as I've seen them start all season. Then Liverpool started to find their way into the game a little bit. And you always got to be careful, Liverpool, because on counter-attack, the quality they have up front could change the game just like that. Second half comes, 46 minutes, Mane and Salah were kept very quiet in that first half. Second half, game opens up a little bit, start fast. And it was just electric from start to finish. I mean, I was at the game, the first leg, it was a 2-2 game. And it was just equally as brilliant. Maybe this one had a little bit more quality. I couldn't call it. I think if one team was to win it, maybe Man City just had the edge because of that first half.
Do you agree with that? If either side were going to win, Nigel, it was City.
Of course, that's my fault.
You've been neutral all day.
I've been neutral. I tried to be neutral, but now
I'm
biased now. But how can I not agree with that? I mean, you know, it was just an electric game today. It was from both sides, obvious. You know, you have to give credit where credit is due. We're talking about Liverpool beforehand, but I think, you know, overall, it was just a fantastic game to watch for the neutral fan. Obvious. I think at the end of the day, Man City had the better chances and a better momentum as well to extend the lead, as we said. But if you just look based on the first 15 to 20 minutes in the second half, I think Liverpool was close to take the lead even. So, you know, that being said, I think at the end of the day, a draw was a fair result.
You said at the start of the day, must not lose for Liverpool, and they didn't, and they came back twice at a place like this against a team like this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of character. And when City started like that and then scored as well, any normal team
Did you fear the worst?
Well, yeah, I mean, if City go and get another one, then you think, wow, because they were putting a lot of pressure on Liverpool at the time. But they did. They were brave enough to come back into the game, to keep their passing game going. And they eventually quietened City down a little bit. But I thought City were absolutely brilliant in that, you know, the first 10, 15 minutes. And Liverpool got back into the game quite quickly, though, fair play to them. And then it was a little bit nip and tuck. But I agree with the guys. I think with a neutral head on, if you see the chances created by both teams, it was probably a fair result. But if you had to pick one team, it was City.
What about when Sterling went through? Just his shoulder was offside. And you're thinking, when he goes through, has he got the composure to finish it off? And it was brilliant. Then he got Mahrez's chance at the end.
He could have made a name for himself.
If you could bet on anyone in that position to finish it off, you just think he's going to bend it into that far corner. He goes, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't think he was trying to be clever. Tried a little dink and it wasn't,
We were thinking that it was a deflection, though, at the end of the day. You know,
Matip got a little touch.
See?
He got a touch.
See? And so it was a little deflection, but nevertheless, I understand what you say. If you want to have one player in that position with his left foot coming on the inside, it should have been Mahrez. But nevertheless, you know, it was a draw at the end of the day.
And we were lucky enough to be joined live by Pep and Jurgen Klopp as well. Yeah. And they were talking about the fine margins, weren't they? About these two titans going head to head. And Jurgen Klopp was even going back to ones from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's an amazing part about these two coaches, right? They have so much respect for each other and they know each other so well. But it's all about fine margins, you know, especially with 7 games to go right now. It's not a matter of fact who's going to win the most games. It's who's going to lose the most points at the end of the day, because it's only 1 point between the two of them. And if you look at the fixtures we'll be discussing as well, I think Liverpool, the first 2 games now they're coming with United and Everton, is going to be a really difficult fixture for them.
I just think next week for Man City is absolutely massive. You think Atletico, you won 0 up, but that's going to take so much out of you. Then you've got the semi-final of the FA Cup against Liverpool again. That's going to take, and it's just, I think this week now is going to be so defining in terms of what happens the rest of the season.